What's up, everybody? This is Mike with Quality Aerial Solutions coming to you from Grantsboro, right on Grantsboro-Arapahoe line today for an up-and-coming listing. And just kind of going over a few things. So, got to the property, and this is one of the things that we always do is when we go through and do a walkthrough of the property, usually if the homeowner's on scene, we'll do one with the homeowner. If they're not, we'll do one with the agent. Or if nobody's there to meet us and we're going in with a lockbox, which is absolutely fine, then we just kind of walk through and check everything out and see. It's a pretty living room, kitchen, dining area. But we go through, make sure everything's good. So, we go through, make sure countertops are relatively clean, things are picked up, containers are out of the way. So, like this broom back here, we'll go ahead and move that and just kind of get that out of the way as we're prepping. Oh, I got the door locking. But it's just little things. Usually, for most properties, it's little things. So, not every property needs a full prep. And to be honest with you, we try not to do a full prep because we're not stagers, we're photographers. So, with that, we do go through, make sure blinds are how we need them. Some blinds we will open all the way up. Some we will leave half open. These standard mini blinds here, we're pretty much going to leave them half open. We still have a good view outside. You see the blinds are in good condition. Plantation style blinds, stuff like that, we usually leave those about the same way, with the blinds actually closed and then the slats halfway open, because they're custom cut usually to the window size for the house. This is pretty cool here. I like this. So we want to try to show that comes with the house, and that it's there. They're in relatively good condition. So again, go through, we'll cut all the lights on, make sure everything looks good. And now I've already walked through this property and prepped a lot of this before I decided to do this video, honestly. So I'm going to make sure these lights aren't even plugged in. Oh, I'll leave these ones off because I'm not messing with the staging a whole lot. So, a few things like the shower mats were up off the floor, which is good, but they were just laid over the tub, so we've just placed them in the linen closet for right now. Go through, we want to check the location of our vehicle. I don't know if you guys can see it from this angle. Yep, you can. So if you look out this angle, which is probably an angle of a photo I'm going to get, you can see that my front bumper is just kind of sticking there. So I'll be sure to move that. Probably move it beside the master bedroom for right now because I don't think, yeah. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of view out of these ones. So we will, again, make sure these are halfway. And again, I've already gone through and cut the lights on in this room. So, same thing when we come into the bathroom. See, there was actually 3 floor mats, shower mats, that were sitting up there. We put those in the master bedroom closet. So I'll have to move the van beside this and then just move it again when I get ready to do the master. Cool little shower, I like that. Nice little vanity, that's cool. But yeah, so just some of the stuff that we have to do and consider and think about. And I do like the fact that all of the light bulbs, it looks like, in this house are actually all of the same color temperature, which is very nice. So one thing with this house that we're going to be doing that we generally don't do, but because we have a little bit of time today, and because, to be honest with you, I want to start to settle something about real estate photography and what it all entails and figuring out what is the best way. We've been doing this 4 years. We shoot multiple different styles. They're all just tools in our toolkit. We prefer the flash ambient style. It shows off the brightness. It really lightens up the rooms, but we're not using the flash really for the light. We're doing it to knock out all the other color temperatures. So you can see Even on these windows back here, it looks a little blue and a little green. And then if I go straight to this window over here, you can really see that blue tinge coming here. But now we look up at, where that? There we go. I'll find it eventually. At these light bulbs here, and you can see that they are a warmer type of hue. So, that more orangish yellow look, the warm light bulbs that everybody loves, which is cool. And I have them in my house, and they're really nice. The only problem is you can see this white ceiling. Okay, the ceiling's white. It really is. That's a standard white. But if you're looking at the color cast off this gray wall, it's going to make the top of it start to look gray and kind of washed out. If you're looking at the color cast from that orange light, what you're going to start to see is that white starts to turn orange, yellowish. Overall, it's not a bad image. However, as you start to photograph things, do things, increase your contrast, saturation, your highlights, your shadows to lift a little bit so people can see what the actual property looks like, then what will end up happening is all of the whites in this property will end up starting to look very yellow, very orangish, and very dingy. That's not really kind of what you want. I don't agree with the hyper white look. I don't agree with that. I don't like that look. But again, you have to have some level of appropriate color. Otherwise, everything's going to look off. So this bathroom is probably, I don't know, we'll get in here and see if you guys can see it or if it even shows up on this camera, and it may not. So same thing when we start getting up to these lights. Let's see, pan over there to it. More of a warmer light bulb. It's not really showing up a whole lot on the camera, which is a good thing. But this shower. So we know this shower is a standard white. It's a standard white contractor shower that is in almost not probably 90% of the bathrooms in America, to be fair. You know that white, you've seen that white, it's like a washer dryer white. You know exactly what that color is. But standing here looking at it, you can start to see the yellow reflecting off this light up here, which starts to make it look a little unclean, yellow, dingy, which in person it is absolutely not. This home is stellar. It's absolutely clean. Like there's not even dust on the picture frames. Like I'm not even kidding you. So it's trying to capture the essence of the lights, the essence of the room, but also the correct colors too. So that's just kind of some of the stuff that we look for, and I really am. I'm super glad that all of the light bulbs in this property are all of the same color. That is awesome. That makes me happy. That's less things I have to fight with in post production and post processing, but it is what it is. So with that, I think pretty much I'm gonna do a quick walk around outside. But again, this property, talking about it, and I know this video is running a little long, and if you don't want to stay with me for 10 minutes, that's cool. No harm, no foul. We'll just do a quick walk around the property while we're talking, but we are going to do a couple things different, kind of settle a debate. So I'm going to shoot an ambient style only on this property. Then I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to do the flash ambient blend. And the reason being is because if you shoot ambient only, one, you're not getting rid of all the color cast. You're not getting rid of the ambient light that's coming through the window. So you're not going to have the good window views coming through the property or coming through the photo, which may not seem like a lot, but here's the thing. So with real estate, you're selling this property, right? You're not just selling, you're selling the property and you're selling the overall feel of the property. So when people sit inside, when you sit inside your home normally and you look out the window, you can see out of the window because your eyes and brain process light way different than a camera does. So if you're shooting with a camera and you're inside and you're doing ambient only, what you're going to have a lot of times is a very harsh light coming through the windows that you're not going to be able to see out of. And for architectural work, interior design work, things where the focus is the inside of the property only or the items inside the property, because again, this is real estate photography. This is not interior design photography. This is not focusing on the staging, not focusing on the items, the decor in the property. We're focusing on the entire property itself, right? So that's what we try to do. Now, there will be some homes where they just deserve, I mean, we're talking $1 million homes, $2 million homes and up, where it deserves to have those detail shots because they paid a lot of money to have those homes built. They had a lot of money to have the interior designers come in. They paid a lot of money to have the actual stagers come through. So we try to show that off. And it's the same with the Airbnb. You're selling more of that destination than you are trying to sell the property, if that makes sense. So with this one, we are going to do a couple different things. We're going to do the straight ambient, which is with no flash. So all the ambient colors come through, all the other stuff comes through. The slightly off white balances, things like that. That's what we're going to do with the ambient one, and then we'll go through and shoot it with the flash ambient style, same way, but to show the difference of how having the correct colors, how having appropriate light inside the property, balancing between the inside and the outside of the room really makes a difference. Because another thing with flash too that you can do versus ambient is you can backlight some of those rooms. Say you're standing in a huge living room and there's a dining room off of one side, a kitchen off of one side, a hallway off another side, a bedroom off of the other side. Well, if you're just shooting ambient, a lot of those things are going to look very dark in the background and you're not going to really be able to see them. So when you're doing real estate photography, you're trying to sell the whole space, right? So if we can lead them in the photo into, oh, there's a hallway here that goes into the master bedroom, that then goes into the master bathroom, or goes into the walk-in closet. That's all stuff that we can highlight with flash by backlighting those rooms that we can't do in ambient. And I'm not even talking about HDR because I don't like the HDR look on the inside of properties. You can HDR exteriors all day long, that's fine. We usually do single exposures. We still capture it in HDR. We just do single exposure edits for our exteriors just because if the wind's blowing, you're going to have leaves moving, you're going to have grass blades moving, things are going to look a little blurry, a little out of focus, and that's not really. So when you're blending HDR, it's just 3 exposures, and I'm not going to get into it because otherwise this video will be another 30 minutes. But anyway, we do single exposure exteriors. We still capture 3 exposures, so we have them as a safety net because overall, our goal as the media provider for real estate agents is to have consistent results. Every single property we go into, every single time. Not, well, the ambient looked really good in this one, and HDR may have worked for this one, and flash would have been really beneficial at this one. Well, we want consistent results every time that we go to a property. Very similar angles, very similar lighting, very similar coloring, etc., etc. Why? Because you guys are building a brand, and your media is your brand. So that's something that you need to think about. That a lot of times, that's really all people see of your brand is your photography, whether it's on MLS, whether it's on Zillow, whether it's on Realtor.com, whatever the case may be, wherever you're marketing these properties. 9 times out of 10, those listing photos that you have are the first piece of information that they have about your brand, you as an agent, how you're going to go about listing these properties, the next properties, so on and so forth. So consistency is key, and that's one of the reasons that we really, really, really like flash ambient style is because it gives us that consistency property after property after property after property. We can replicate it. It doesn't really matter what time of day. It doesn't really matter. To some extent, it does matter what time of day we're shooting a property, but that's more so for how shadows fall. But again, you're getting this very similar type of feel showing off that property, showing off and still blending in the ambient. So you're still getting that natural vibe and feel of that property. You're just getting it with correct colors and window views, if that makes sense. With that, little short video. I'll try to post this up here shortly. Until then, thank you guys for spending 15 minutes of your day with me, listening to me ramble on about photography. So with that, y'all enjoy your day.